the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. No one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors, no one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors.
Welcome everyone to Cage Nation TV. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
We took a little bit of delay, but that's because we came back from an awesome event at Stage AE, and then of course technology is great until it decides to crap the bed on you.
Yes.
I'm your elected official, Albert Cameron. Beside me, as always, the Prime Minister of Seoul, Mr. Drew Shannon.
Hello and welcome to Cage Nation TV. During these hot and sweltery days of July, of course, 4th of July weekend upon us, and we hope you're celebrating safely and have a happy 4th of July weekend. Of course, if you light off the fireworks, make sure that you're doing so safely, and adult supervision and all that.
If you're partaking of adult beverages, make sure you're not drinking and driving.
Yes.
I'm sure anyone who's inviting you over to their house, or if you're having anyone over, I'm sure they'd be happy to let you crash on the couch.
Crash on the couch, call a cab, get a DD, but we want to see you back here each and every week, okay? Because dying sucks. That's
Absolutely.
All we're doing.
Drew, do you know what else we're celebrating other than the birth of our nation?
We're celebrating, all right, I don't know.
Okay. It was 1 year ago on July 6th that we spoke to the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Yeah, July 6th, the episode aired July 6th. We talked to him, I believe, July 2nd or 3rd. July 2nd.
So,
1 year to the day.
So the day that we're taping is the day. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that was huge for me, and I think that was what really kind of made me feel like Cage Nation TV was something legit. That we got to speak to Hall of Famer, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. So a lot has happened in our absence, Drew.
Yes. My God, where do we start?
Where do we start? We start with Bellator.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Chael Sonnen. We're coming back locally because there is a huge fight on July 12th. At the Green Tree Sportsplex.
Exactly.
For Pinnacle FC. We got a couple highlights from that fight. And then, Drew, the Cameron Underground.
What do you got?
I think I did good this time. We got Jen's Little Evil Pulver taking on Joe Daddy Stevenson.
Ooh.
Little Evil's taking on Joe Daddy.
My daddy?
No, Joe Daddy.
Don't talk about my daddy like that.
All that and more right here on Cage Nation TV.
I will kick your ass.
Don't worry about remote signal blockage again. Introducing the Top Mount. This low-profile shelf is perfect for placing your cable box where you can use it. The easy-to-install lightweight shelf is designed to fit behind almost any flat screen TV, with or without a wall mount. The Top Mount is perfect for easy access to cable boxes, game consoles, and DVD players. Don't have your signal blocked again. Order your Top Mount today at thetopmount.com.
Welcome back to Cage Nation TV. As we mentioned before the break, a lot has happened since we've last spoke to you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, and we probably should have come on right away when a lot of this news broke, but things happen. Technology sucks, and let's face it, I think we were better off in the dark ages. But, that's just me. At least we didn't have to, constantly whine and complain about computers going down and internet and all sorts of crap. So
let's be happy the Cage Nation TV is a YouTube show and not a 900 number that someone has to call for their news and information. You remember those?
We'd be getting paid, though.
I think every time we go to an event, someone's like, oh my God, I watch your show. That's my paycheck. That's what I get out of that.
Yes, I'll have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Although the money's nice.
Money is nice.
All right, let's get into it. Bjorn Rebney, he's out of Bellator. What does the future hold for this organization now?
Well,
I mean, we know Scott Coker was named as his replacement.
yeah.
Where do we go from here? And, of course, the news coming out that Tito Ortiz is now contemplating his return. No?
See, here's what I love about mixed martial arts in the day and age of technology. I get a text message from one of my best friends that Scott Coker's out of his seat, that Bjorn Rebney's out of his seat.
Right.
So then, I was able to look at my phone. I'm watching all day, everything unfold. It started out with rumors that Scott Coker was going to be the replacement, but nothing was confirmed. Then he was confirmed, and then the tournament format's out, and then they released a whole bunch of guys, and so now we're left to wonder what's going on with Bellator.
Okay.
I made a very bold statement that I think Bellator has maybe 9 months left to live, and I'll tell you it's because I've been around mixed martial arts for quite a long time,
Right.
and I've seen this kind of writing on the wall before. The core competency of Bellator was the tournament format. It's what got them to the dance. It's what got Viacom to take notice. It's why we were able to watch Bellator on TV weekly, live fights weekly.
Right.
That was their niche, their core competency. Well, now they're like, we're done. We're going to go to a more traditional model. Well, if traditional models were so successful all the time, then we wouldn't have promotions talking in the past tense like Bulldog Fight, like the WEC, like Strikeforce, like the WFA, like Extreme Fighting. Need I go on?
No. You're good.
The traditional format's been done a lot, and no one's better at it than the UFC.
Right.
UFC's proven that time and time again. So the promotion that has really been the example for what Bellator is going through now is the International Fight League. The International Fight League was 5 teams of 5 guys, lightweight to heavyweight, and they were going to fight. Well, then the IFL's like, okay, well, we're going to do it with teams. We're going to have like loose camp associations. And then we're going to do away with the ring. We're just going to have like a hexagon.
Right. And
everything went to hell in a handbasket for the International Fight League. And that's really, I think, Bellator's going. I hope they prove me wrong, of course. I want avenues for guys we know to be able to fight all over the place.
Well, sure.
But I think Bellator's doing everything wrong. And we forget that Scott Coker's the one who got in bed with M1 Global with Strikeforce. You know, Scott Coker's the one who had to co-promote that wasn't Strikeforce, that was Elite FC. But Scott Coker is also making some very bad decisions for Strikeforce that didn't do them a whole lot of good in the end anyway.
Right. Well, what about Tito Ortiz?
Did you hear who's rumored to be fighting?
I have not. I'm checking my phone right now just to make sure that I'm getting all this stuff.
The rumor is he's going to be fighting Kimbo Slice.
And he's eyeing a November return as well.
You know what the problem with having Kimbo Slice on your... Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Not saying Kimbo Slice is a bad fighter.
Right.
But Bellator traditionally has been known to hold their hopes really high on something just to be disappointed. Elite XC did the exact same thing with Kimbo Slice. They had him come in. They're like, he's this monster. He can't be beaten. He's training with Boss Rutan. And then it was October 4th, 2007. Elite XC scored a sweet deal with CBS. It was...
Absolutely.
Friday night fights.
Well, I thought it was Saturday night.
It might have been Saturday.
I think it was Saturday night.
Okay, but still, Saturday night fights, and it was on network television.
Right.
That was absolutely huge.
It was groundbreaking.
You know what would have been even more groundbreaking? If the main event they had would have been groundbreaking. If it would have been like a 5-round slugfest like Griffin versus Bonner. Had that happened, we'd still be having Saturday night fights with Elite XC, right. But they banked everything on Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice got knocked down in 17 seconds by Seth Petrozelli, who was promoted from the undercard. Seth Petrozelli wasn't even supposed to appear on TV that night.
I just love that story.
It was the day before my birthday. Like, you know, I love it too. Like, that's one of those memories I always have. So, Bellator may have seen the writing on the wall. We don't know. Maybe they all watch Cage Nation TV and they know they heard the things we were saying that they were doing wrong. But I don't think they're heading in the right direction to correct them.
I don't think they're watching us even.
I like to think they are.
Because if they were, they'd be probably smarter than what they are.
Nah.
All right, let's get into another breaking story that we had to deal with while we were gone, and that was Chael Sonnen fired from UFC and Fox. The first time around was he claimed that it was helped to come off fertility drugs, right? TRT. Because
Dan Henderson, Vitor Belfort, they took TRT away, and so like you can't just quit TRT. Like the same thing with Fallon Fox.
It was supposed to help with the fertility issues. For some reason, I was thinking something else. Okay.
It's like Fallon Fox.
Right.
She has to take estrogen hormones for the rest of her life. If she stops, she's going to do her body a lot of harm. Same thing with testosterone replacement therapy. If you just stop, you're going to do your body a lot of harm. So you kind of need to wean yourself off of that
and that's
chemical being in your body.
That's with any chemical dependency. You have to wean yourself off in order to be, done with it.
Heavy narcotics. I mean, even caffeine. If
Right.
you're used to drinking caffeine every day and you stop, your body's going to react.
Right, and you know, I mean, anybody who works at a rehab facility will tell you that that's how, you know,
Right.
that's how it goes.
So Chael Sonnen was weaning himself off TRT. That was his first time, and he said, okay, well, I'm retiring. So, like, you know, he was taking a step to remove himself. I don't think he was doing anything to give himself an unfair advantage.
Right.
So then the second drug test, he fails.
And that's just because he's still trying to wean himself off of this?
Well, now he's getting involved in fertility and stuff. I don't agree with the second random drug testing. The
Right.
man had already retired.
Well, yeah, I would say he already retired. He's not involved, and
I mean, he should have been taken out of the pool of athletes to drug test, in my opinion.
so why was he drug tested?
Because he was still in the Nevada system, as far as I know.
Okay.
I mean, there's always potential you could come out of retirement. I mean, Randy Couture. Retirement means I'm going to take an extended break to Randy Couture. You know, he keeps coming back. Now, let me pose this question to you, Drew.
Okay.
Okay? Here's why I think Fox...
Sorry, you're boring me. No, I just... Long night. Go ahead.
Here's why I think the UFC and the Fox made a big, big mistake.
All right.
Okay, so now we have a lot of guys who are trying to compete with the UFC.
Right.
Bellator is obviously looking for new game plans to compete with the UFC.
Definitely.
I don't think that Chael Sonnen will fight for Bellator, but how valuable wouldn't it be to get Chael Sonnen behind a commentator's mic
Oh
for
my
Bellator?
God, that would be amazing. That would definitely give Bellator a much needed boost.
I mean, and it would be that personality in Scott Coker's ear saying, "Hey, brother, you're doing things wrong. You need to start doing things this way."
Right.
You know, and then you know, if you weren't exclusive to Bellator, ESPN is trying to do MMA coverage. How huge wouldn't that be for ESPN to grab Chael Sonnen? I think this controversy really made Chael Sonnen probably one of the biggest free agents in mixed martial arts right now, personality-wise.
Most definitely. And only time will tell to see where Sonnen goes next.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, he's going somewhere. I mean, the guy's
Yeah.
too important to the sport not to.
we'll keep an eye out. All right. We're going to take a break from here. We're going to pay the bills, as it were, and then we'll be back. We're going to talk about some of the local, regional things, the news coming out of the Pittsburgh area, Pinnacle FC.
Yep.
And so much more. So stick around. We'll be back. It is Cage Nation TV. We're back. Don't nobody go nowhere. Welcome back to Cage Nation TV. We talked about some of the national stories that we kind of missed while we were gone. Global, national, international. Let's talk more regional, local. Albert, Pinnacle FC, Pittsburgh Challenge Series 8, coming up July 19th, or July 12th. July 12th.
Yes.
Next weekend.
Drew, I know the Pinnacle event that we went to, I think, was jam-packed. I mean, they had great action. They had a lot of heavy hitters. With Pittsburgh Challenge Series 8, they are not disappointing.
Definitely not.
And I had a chance to look down at the card today. There's a couple fights that stood out. All the fights in that card are very, very good for a reason. And guys like Dave Klick and Joe Demore and Matt Layshak put together great fights consistently. These are just a couple that stood out to me.
Okay. So we're just going to go down the list.
Good on the list.
John Kaufman taking on Osahan Omoosagi.
Yes! John Kaufman, of course, we were first exposed to him at WCC 6, where him and Paul McAleer had a great bout.
Yep.
They both ended up in... PMAC was in a standing calf slicer. Kaufman was on his back, but it was a great back-and-forth war. John Kaufman had a really good fight. He didn't get the W, but he had a really good fight at Pittsburgh Challenge Series 6, I believe was the one we were at.
Yes.
He's taking on Osahan Omoosagi, a purist boxer. The guy's got fantastic hands, great foot movement, but I think we know Osahan Omoosagi most for choking out John Lear. Not choking out, but he got a submission victory over John Lear with a north-south choke.
I was going to say, how did he win at CD MMA 9?
I would never ever expect that from a boxer.
Keep him guessing.
And I'll tell you, the north-south choke has actually been very, very popular in that region lately.
How many submissions have we seen? Has it been 3?
Osahan Omoosagi, Chris Dempsey, and then Melissa Gazdick.
I thought it was more than that.
It might have been.
The north-south choke seems to be quite the popular submission.
Incredibly popular. And Osahan Omoosagi brought it to us all November 16th? at Complete Devastation MMA 9.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Of course, Complete Devastation MMA 10 is coming up on November 1st, so you don't want to miss that one. Getting back to Pinnacle.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a great amateur bout. Both guys really, really need a win, and both guys know how to fight when they're hungry for wins.
It is going to be an excellent bout. Also, title fight between Jake Schilling and Ethan Goss for the title that Rel Hodge vacated after beating Rich Canalina.
Ethan Goss is doing something where he's going around to these different promotions in Pennsylvania and Ohio, and he's just taking gold.
Now, originally, though, Ethan am I correct that Ethan was supposed to fight somebody else?
No. Jake Schilling and Ethan Goss was named the number 1 contenders at Pittsburgh Challenge Series 6.
Okay. I thought somebody had backed to okay, then I must have read something.
I think you're thinking of the main event. Mark Jericho had an opponent lined up, and then he backed out.
That's who I'm thinking of. Okay, we'll touch upon that in just a few.
So, but I mean, this fight has been full steam ahead. Jake Schilling had a very, very impressive win, and then after that fight, Ethan Goss was welcomed into the cage, and then we knew, Drew, that a title fight was on. Jake Schilling had a very, very methodical style. He was able to grind it out. I don't think at any point in his last fight that I see he was in any sort of danger. Ethan the Wolverine Goss has had a great fight. He's the Gladiators of the Cage 155 amateur champion by beating Lenny Karlheim. And beating Lenny Karlheim is no easy feat whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
No, absolutely. So, we got two guys who had got some really great momentum. We got gold on the line. Those things, coupled with a title fight, make great, exciting fights to watch. And, you know, as much as I've called Ethan's fights, I can't give a clear advantage to either of these guys. And that's also what makes it more dramatic to find out who's going to win.
Pick a winner now.
I can't.
Pick a winner now.
I'm not going to do it.
Go over there, think about it right now, and pick a winner. Now.
Okay, I know who wins.
Who wins?
Everybody in attendance there at Pinnacle FC.
That's right.
But I mean, honestly,
It's a trick question.
That was good. But that's what makes for a great fight, exciting to watch.
All right. Of course, about the we've been looking forward to seeing, and unfortunately, we're not going to be there.
As far as I know, though, Cage Nation TV will have a presence there
I believe we will
at Challenge Series 8. But I mean, I'm really bummed out that I won't be there.
I know, I am too. Unfortunately, I'm committed to something else, and it's just been a crazy summer. The grudge match between Charlie the Madman Gathers and Jason the Whip Willett. The history, and we've covered the history of this fight for a few months now.
StandEmUp.org had a really great article on why you should love this fight. I mean, they touched on all the great reasons.
I was gonna say, I don't even know if we can go. I mean, we've already hammered home
ad nauseum. We've talked about it. But
so,
I mean,
what do they have to say?
Former training partners. Gather used to be sponsored by Fractured. Willett is the flagship, the flag bearer of Fractured, and Gathers feel like he was disrespected. Willett is going to step up and fight for the people who have taken care of him. And so, I mean, it's a grudge fight. That's exactly what it is. There's no other way to describe it. It is a grudge fight.
And it's on a side note, StandEmUp.org, very good website.
Oh, absolutely.
Check them out. A lot of great insight and all sorts of great stuff from them. So check them out online.
Sure. So
I'm showing you love.
We got a couple guys who have honors on the line. It's not a title.
Exactly.
It's not a title. It's not a high purse. It's honor. It's respect and honor.
Charlie is fighting for the people that he feels that Fractured wronged.
Right.
And Jason is fighting for
the people who have really just taken care of him.
The people who have taken care of him.
I mean, we had a chance to talk to Jason casually, and he had beaming things to say about Fractured. He's like, I don't have to pay gym fees. Like, you know, they cover my training expenses, and like, you know, he really spoke to them like you'd speak of a brother.
Exactly.
And that is like that kind of emotional bond. So this is one of those fights where unfortunately someone has to lose.
Yeah.
And I don't like seeing that, but coming head to head, this is gonna be one of those fights that whenever the first bell rings, the atmosphere is going to be electric. It never fails.
It's going to be you will be able to cut the electricity with a knife. However, you never ever touch metal to lightning.
No,
you're going to get shocked.
That's bad.
That's some bad stuff.
That is.
You can cut the tension with a knife in the room, almost definitely. So it is going to be an epic fight. And of course, the main event, as we touched upon earlier, that I totally got confused with something else. Mark Jericho going to take on Luis Guerrera in the main event.
The Pride of Bloomfield, putting his undefeated record on the line. One of the things I think that impressed me the most when I saw Jericho fight live for the first time is everyone in that Pittsburgh area was so behind him. Like, he had such a following, and they really reacted to everything he did. I mean, whether it be like his pre-fight, coming out to the cage, like, that energy with the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing.
Now, here's the thing about that, too. I've noticed while we've been in Pittsburgh, we've been covering, for both organizations, there's always one or two guys that get the hugest pops when they come out, and the city is entirely behind them. And Jericho is definitely one of them. Chris Dempsey, another.
Dominic Mazzata. Mike Wilkins.
Yep.
Kama Worthy. Mark Jericho. Cody Garbrandt.
The list goes on and on and on.
Pittsburgh has this really, really tense circle of elite fighters. And, I mean, it might be in the UFC's best interest to do an Ultimate Fighter Pittsburgh.
Right.
I mean, I really think they get some...
That'd be great.
I think it would.
Well, here's the thing, too. Pittsburgh is so passionate when it comes to their sports, when it comes to their teams, the Penguins, the Pirates, the Steelers. And now they're getting passionate about their fighters in mixed martial arts. And it shows.
Any city that can support the Pirates for as long as they have clearly has some dedicated fans.
Raise it.
And, like I said, Stage A East is on top of the ashes of where Three River Stadium used to be.
Exactly. Hallowed ground.
Pittsburgh is all about their sports. And that's why every time we go down to Pittsburgh, it's so charged. And I think that's why we're so exhausted when we leave, too. Is because we've left so much energy there. Pittsburgh doesn't...
Pittsburgh, you suck the energy out of us.
They don't ask for it, they just take it.
They just take it.
So, I mean, if there's any reason why you need to be at Pittsburgh for Pinnacle FC Challenge Series 8, I just gave you a couple great ones.
So back to the fight. Jericho versus Guerrero.
Pinnacle FC is a lot like the other promotions in Pittsburgh. They don't put on bad main events. No one in Pittsburgh has just ever been thrown into a main event because they needed a main eventer.
Right.
I've seen that happen in fights before, and I'm not talking like, local fights. I'm talking like larger promotions been like, oh, hey, you in the back, I need a main eventer. Come on, you're on. And I think I just proved it with Elite XC whenever they promoted Seth Petrozelli.
Right.
They don't do that in Pittsburgh. If Mark Jericho didn't have someone quality worth fighting,
they wouldn't have the fight.
I honestly believe they would have just canceled the fight as opposed to just putting anyone in there.
Or they would look high and low for somebody that would be quality to put against a guy like Jericho. So.
Absolutely. So I couldn't tell you who wins. No, I do believe this is a title fight.
Okay.
Mark Jericho fighting for a pro title in Pittsburgh.
And we're hoping to have some sort of presence there, as Albert and I are both committed to other things in our personal lives.
Yeah.
Separately. We're not. No. Although there are rumors out there. No. He's married. I'm a single dude, ladies. So, moving on.
Yeah.
But yes, we're going to try to have a presence there at this at Pinnacle FC Pittsburgh
Challenge
Series 8. It's hot in here. I just can't think. Well, now that takes us to our fourth segment. The segment 4, number 4. The 3 is 5 is right out. This is segment 4. The fourth segment. The number of segments shall be 4. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. To you, sir.
So, segment 4. I don't know if you guys caught that, but we are in segment 4. Did we clear that?
Woo!
The Cameron Underground Drill.
Yes.
Where I dig into this big dinosaur head of mine, and I pull out names of mixed martial arts past and future.
It is rather huge.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. And I pull out names, and I'm like, I wonder what these guys were doing way back when. And I found a great one. Jen's Little Evil Pulver, who was a coach on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
He coached against BJ Penn. He, Miletich fighting system, he was an MFS kind of guy, which Pat Miletich is being inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. Pretty big. He was one of the first guys who had like the super gyms. It was the Lion's Den and Miletich fighting systems. And then we got Joe Daddy Stevenson, who fought out of Eric Paulson's CSW, which Ryan Gruen in Central PA Mixed Martial Arts is now affiliate of. See how I'm tying this all together?
Look at that.
You know, it's a small world, and I'm making it even smaller.
Look at him.
Joe Daddy Stevenson trained at CSW, also with Cobra Kai Jiu-Jitsu. He was on Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. He was the Season 2 winner.
Sweep the leg. Not that
Strike hard, strike first, no mercy, sir.
It's not that Cobra Kai.
Right. Different Cobra Kai. Mark Lehman's Cobra Kai.
Oh.
Yeah. So...
Did it get light in here?
It did. It's the sunshine. It's the 4th of July weekend. We're gearing up, and we're bringing great mixed martial arts. So anyway, with a promotion I don't even know the name of, we got Joe Daddy Stevenson taking on Jen's Little Evil Pulver, right here in the Cameron Underground.
With a promotion that has no name, and the name of the promotion cannot be found. Segment 4.
Generation, the cage nation, we demonstrating, we penetrating and levitating. Demons are breathing, my heathens are screaming. You won't believe what you're seeing, cause I came to fight, I came to murder mice. Just a beast in the night, I beast with the right and put you to sleep for the night. When I rock jaws, I knock your socks off. You won't ever get through me like locked doors. An animal in the cage, an animal when I'm enraged. Step in the cage, I'ma make the cage your grave. Cause this is that fight music, that beg for your life music. Go against me, yeah, you might lose it. Jigsaw the truest to ever do this. I'm a nuisance the way I abuse the music. A sicko, a psycho, I'm from that city, Staten, one of the 5 boroughs. But that 8-sided cage is my home. No one could drop us, no one could stop us. We are the warriors, no one could top us. No one could rock us. We are the warriors, no one could drop us.
And Pulver wins by TKO.
That was a great delivery. I can't believe we've never used that in all the fights we've commentated. That you've never used TKO.
Oh.
You got to think about that for the next one.
I might.
All right. So that does it for another episode of Cage Nation TV. Of course, when you guys are on the interwebs with your smartphones, we've got apps for everything nowadays.
We do.
Make sure you like us on Facebook.
Yes.
That's where we're bringing you current news all the time. We're asking for your opinions. We want you to interact. Of course, Twitter. I mean, everybody tweets these days.
Yep.
And then if you subscribe to YouTube and you have the YouTube app on your phone, we are taking these videos, these works of, these labors of love, and we're bringing it right to you. YouTube will actually tell you, hey, the guys at Cage Nation TV just uploaded another video. You should watch it.
Exactly. So subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and who knows, maybe we'll join Instagram at some point as well. Oh.
I'm drawing the line right there.
Oh.
Well, maybe. You never know. So, for the Prime Minister of Soul, Drew Shannon, I'm your elected official, Albert Cameron. This has been another edition of Cage Nation TV. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
He's the Art Carly, I'm the Sam Puckett, which means he's the pure one and I'm the slut. Have a great 4th. See ya.
Let's go. Ah.